Well, it's a busy week for Arkansas lawmakers as they tackle bills aimed at education. Banning cell phones in schools is one you may be interested in. Morgan Wrigley will have the latest.
And no matter where you're waking up this morning, got some fog out there, got some patchy drizzle as well. We'll talk about this dreary start to the day and what's to come the rest of the week coming up in just a bit.
Plus, Fayetteville city leaders debate a rule that would cap so-called junk fees for renters. We'll have more on this discussion in minutes. But first, a live look in Fayetteville at 6:30. Good morning to you there. 5 News This Morning is now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, hey, good morning. Some of us waking up to a pretty foggy morning today. A few sprinkles overnight as well.
Yeah, not the picture perfect start to the day like we had earlier on this week where it was warm and sunny, right? Really, since then we've been changing pretty much every day. A lot more cloud coverage for today. We are going to get a bit warmer this afternoon, but we continue this roller coaster pretty much every day the rest of this week. Let's take a look at what it feels like as you head out the door this morning. Really not too bad temperature-wise. Those mid to upper 40s, low 50s across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley at some comfortable levels as you head out the door. But again, once you head out the door, then you're running into fog and some wet roads out there. Here's a look at that fog tracker, what the visibility is like across the area. Again, due to the combination of some warmer air and the moisture that we have out there right now, that's why that fog is developing no matter where you're waking up this morning. Close to 0 miles of visibility, close to the river in Fort Smith there and Sallisaw as well across northwest Arkansas, 1 to 2 miles of that visibility. So again, as you head out the door, just be a little bit cautious of that. We're going to hang on to some low rain chances really throughout the rest of the morning hours, even into the early afternoon. Could see a few of those stray showers. Overall, I expect most of this rain to remain on the lighter side. Some patchy drizzle, maybe a scattered shower here and there. Due to the extra cloud coverage, that chance is going to continue the rest of the day today. Northwest Arkansas all day long. Going to see that cloud coverage hanging around. Daytime highs only warming up into the upper 50s and low 60s by the time we get to this afternoon. Across the River Valley, again, temperatures heading up the door this morning, not too bad, but we don't climb much from there. We'll see daytime highs, upper 50s, low 60s. Nothing but cloud coverage all day long. We'll talk about what you need to know for the weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right. Thanks for that, Stephen. Well, we've been talking it's National Weather Person's Day. So we're celebrating Stephen. Of course, all of the makings are in there. The sunshine, the rain, the fog. It's all there for Stephen this week.
Yeah, and I told him, I was telling him yesterday, no matter what kind of weather you like, you have it this week. It's just a little something for everyone.
There you go.
I kind of wish we had a little summer in there. You know, like
that
the 80s.
would be nice.
80s would be nice.
That would be nice. All right. Well, this morning, the bell-to-bell no-sell bill is now one step closer to becoming law in Arkansas.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley is joining us with the latest on this education bill that's moving through the state legislature. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Well, after passing unanimously in the committee Monday, the bill sailed through the state Senate Tuesday with a 28-1 vote. Now it heads to the House for consideration. The Bell-to-Bell No Sell Act would prohibit students from using personal electronic devices throughout the entire school day. If approved by the House and signed into law, the measure would take effect at the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Supporters say the goal is to boost academic performance and improve students' mental health by reducing distractions and social media use in classrooms. At Tuesday's session, Senator Tyler Deese said it would establish clear, consistent guidelines for schools across the state.
Have teachers down the hall that do something different than a teacher on the other side of the hall. And so kids are in limbo. They don't know if this is a real rule or not because this teacher allows it, that teacher doesn't, even inside of the same school district. What this does is brings clarity and confidence for all school districts to be able to have a level playing field for the conversation that fits best for their district with the confidence of this bill.
This is scheduled for discussion in the House Education Committee tomorrow morning, and we'll keep you updated on what happens. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
All right, thanks so much for that, Morgan. Well, Arkansas lawmakers also discussing some other bills. The House Education Committee voted to move forward with a bill requiring Arkansas schools to show a video created by an anti-abortion group. Now, the film shows an animated fetus growing over time. And then on Monday, the House passed a bill to expand raw milk sales across the state. It's been referred now to a Senate committee. And then a Senate bill to allow for beer and wine delivery in wet counties has failed.
Well, it's week one of the legislative session in Oklahoma, where lawmakers are considering more than 3,000 bills this session, including one that advanced through a House committee on Tuesday aimed at creating new transparency and oversight for unelected officials. If it is signed into law, the bill would require state agencies to get legislative approval for any rule changes that are projected to have a fiscal impact of more than $1 million over 5 years. Right now, police are wanting people to be on the lookout for an Arkansas man involved in an Amber Alert out of Wisconsin. Police say Gary Day, right there on your screen, was last seen in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin with 16-year-old Sophia Franklin. Police believe they could be in Arkansas now, somewhere around Lonoke County. We're told the victim is 3 months pregnant.
And police say Day is believed to be driving a black Buick LaCrosse and could have a Pennsylvania license plate or an Arkansas license plate. If so, that would be BBR 20L. If you see them, call 911. In Fayetteville, City Council members there took no action on an ordinance that would repeal a rule that would cap so-called junk fees for renters. The ordinance would have capped those checks and background checks and application fees at $40 per property, and applicants would be refunded for background checks that were not run. City Attorney Kit Williams introduced an ordinance to repeal the rule due to it possibly being in conflict with state law, setting up a legal fight. City leaders say they want to wait to find some more solutions before repealing the ordinance.
I think it does our community a disservice to repeal this without something to replace. I think that that's very, we're able to do that within the time frame we've given ourselves, postponing to the end of March. I think it's very doable. I've already started to do diligence in that manner.
Unfortunately, our Attorney General has spoken for right now. I would love some creative solutions. I'd love some creative ideas.
Well, after public comments, council members repeatedly said that they plan to work to find more workarounds in the affordable housing crisis. And developing overnight, one person is dead, 5 injured after a mass shooting in New Albany, Ohio. Now, a city spokesperson says that the shooting happened last night at a company facility where at least 100 people were inside. You're seeing video of officers on the ground. Officials have identified the shooter as Bruce Reginald Foster III. They say he is not yet in custody.
Well, President Trump proposes the U.S. take over the Gaza Strip amid the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The statement came during a press conference following Trump's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who said the idea should be considered and praised the president for his work on the recent hostage deal. Trump added that the Palestinians in Gaza should resettle elsewhere during the takeover.
We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings.
However, leaders of several of the most powerful Arab nations have previously said they strongly oppose any suggestion that residents of Gaza be resettled in other nations. Other experts say the proposal is unrealistic. The meeting comes as Israel and Hamas begin talks on the second phase of a peace deal, which would free all remaining hostages and end the war.
And it appears likely the Senate will approve Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Secretary of Health and Human Services after a committee narrowly moved his nomination forward. The vote was 14-13 along party lines. Kennedy won the approval of Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, a doctor who expressed concerns about Kennedy's skepticism of vaccines. Another Senate committee advanced Tulsi Gabbard's nomination as Director of National Intelligence, and the Senate voted to confirm Pam Bondi as Attorney General. The U.S. Postal Service saying it will temporarily suspend international parcels from China and Hong Kong. This comes after President Trump shut a trade loophole this week that has been used to ship low-value packages duty-free from China. The Trump administration imposed an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods that came into effect on Tuesday. The USPS said the change will not impact the flow of letters and flats from China and Hong Kong. It did not immediately comment on whether this was tied to Trump's change to ending certain shipments from China and other countries.
Well, X Corporation, formerly known as Twitter, is expanding a lawsuit to now include Arkansas-based Tyson Foods. The antitrust lawsuit alleges several major companies participated in an organized advertising boycott following Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter back in 2022. X claims that the World Federation of Advertisers coordinated this boycott through its brand safety initiative, GARM, causing significant economic damage to the platform. The House Judiciary Committee and Texas Attorney General are also investigating these allegations. The advertising group has since discontinued GARM, citing, quote, a mischaracterization of its purpose.
All right, let's get you a traffic update as you head out the door this morning. Good news is no accidents, no slowdowns out there this morning, but you are going to run into some fog. Here's a live look out across I-540 over Kelly Highway. You can see a little bit of that fog out there right now. Some wet roads as well from the showers that we had overnight last night and in through this morning. We're going to see those scattered showers continuing. We'll talk about what you need to know for the rest of the week's forecast coming up in just a bit.
Well, continuing coverage on attempts to pass a budget in Jefferson County. No county employees have been paid this year as a result of gridlock with the quorum court. The judge once again proposed his own budget on Tuesday night, while some quorum court members presented a different one, but neither had success. State Representative Glenn Barnes is the sponsor of a bill that would require a county who fails to pass a budget for the new year to revert to the previous year. It's set for a Senate vote today.